I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Greetings. Welcome to the September 7th meeting of the Harbor Committee. Present are Mary Ann, John, Lily, our counsel, Elizabeth. Herbert is just arriving.
Sliding into his seat.
Brant Reiner, representing Nelson Pope Royce, and our producer and director. Congratulations to Doris Alvarez.
Who's not on strike.
Who's not on strike? A writer's strike, exactly. Please don't, Doris, because we'll really shut down. Okay, so minutes, that fun thing. John, how are you doing on the minutes?
I'm fine with both of them.
Any questions on minutes? Herbert?
Nope.
I just had one. It's not a change. I'm just wondering what the update is. On 14 Vitale Silly, there was a note that the wetlands permit must be renewed. They haven't come back to us, have they? Not yet. Okay. Yeah. All right. And okay. So I make a motion. Do we have to do them one at a time? Do them together? Okay, so I'll start. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written on July 6th.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So
nobody.
I'll second.
John. So noted. And what about August 3rd?
Make a motion to accept as written the minutes of August 3rd.
So
I'll second.
So noted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So from the audience, we have 10 minutes of any questions. You guys all look like you have questions. Come on. Actually, this is going to be a new type. You have to stand up and ask a question.
Is there anybody on the Zoom that has any questions?
Yeah.
Nobody there at all?
Is there anybody tuned in?
Yes. Oh, my hand is here. And I have a Brian.
Yeah, he's from here.
Oh.
Okay, great. Okay, so it sounds like there are no comments or questions. So we'll close the public session. Item number 3, correspondence requiring action, 68 West Water Street. The review of the wetlands permit renewal request. You want to opine on that?
Yes. So this is an application or a request for renewal of the wetland permit to do a 3-time-a-year cutting of dry pines. Board approved this in June of 2021, 2-year expiration date, so it did expire in June of 2023. Generally, there would be no issues with the renewal of this. I was hopeful that the applicant's agent would be on tonight just to add some clarity to the request. We're just uncertain as to whether or not the cutting is actually commenced, or is it that they're just asking for a renewal to maybe start at some point in the future. It seems it would be helpful for the board to understand whether or not there has been some activity and if it's been progressively getting better, or if there's any kind of status report that they can provide. I think that would be helpful. Other than that, providing just a clarification on the extent of the work that's been completed and some photos that show the progress. We have no issues with there being a renewal on this application.
Did they go into detail about methodology of eradication?
No.
Not too much.
So I guess if you want to line this a little bit, cutting versus just and removal top stuff versus really going in and taking out,
Root structure.
yeah,
Yeah, so there was no excavation of the rhizome layers, no touching of the roots. It was simply just a 3 time a year cutting. And then the establishment of, they call out for beach grass here, native, it's a native grass to this environment and would thrive, to help hopefully out the beach phragmites. I guess that's
is there an example of that you know of?
the utilization of American beach grass to out the beach phragmites is something that I think was new to me in terms of that application. But that's why it would be helpful for us to know if there's been progress and see if this is actually something that's been effective and something that's worth them to.
So is it kosher for us to ask them to come and explain the progress to date and what their plans are for the future?
Yeah,
Let's do that.
That's a great idea.
yeah, I think that's good.
I think it's helpful for the committee
For us to understand.
how things are progressing with the battles that we all have with regulators.
Yeah,
Right.
just a simple show and tell that, so how do we notify the applicant? Okay, yeah, with just some documentation, photos
That
of.
no action was taken on the application pending their visit with us.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to table this until Doris gets,
I make a motion to table this until we can confer with the applicant about what the progress has been to date and what their plans are for the future and the relative success or lack of success has been. I'll second.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so noted, so Doris,
So for the record, the next meeting is October 5th.
okay. Thank you. Old business, application for Pumpkin Partners at 22 Long Point Road. Greetings.
Good afternoon, Sarah Jane Asano, first time Asano, 21 South Main Street. This hearing has been going on for some time, and so I don't want to take your time today by going over the submission that was submitted by Mike Cheyenne Inner Science. It was digitally submitted to you on Friday, and paper copies were submitted on Tuesday. Comprehensive response to Dustin Mori's comments, and I had a discussion with Mike. I said, I don't think that we should verbally go over that. That you certainly we ask that you review it with your consultants as well. And recap, what I would just like to stress here is that one, we have submitted and we continue to submit that lots of subdivision, which had upland area approved by the Santa Barbara Planning Board, subsequent to New York State adopting its environmental regulations. It is the last lot in that approved subdivision. We've also submitted that the applicant has really extended itself in minimizing the footprint and certainly minimizing the impact to the wetlands here. I know that there was comments that, well, they should have known there's regulatory, Sag Harbor passed its own regulatory rules. However, I submit to you, as I submitted before, that those rules do not prohibit construction on any place where there's wetlands. Actually, there are a whole listing of criteria, and we respectfully submit that we've met them. Now, it is obviously, I don't need to say it, it's a fact that you have the right to decide that it's not to issue a wetlands permit. But as indicated briefly in previous hearings, that would be a regulatory taking. I believe that in your packet submission, you do have a New York State DEC permit, copy of that was issued, which means the entire burden of fair market value cost, and that's going to be beyond me, that'll be within the boards, would fall on the trustees of and the general fund. Regulatory taking is not competent. It's not through the CPF. it's through the general fund. So we ask you to please review the submission that we've made in response. And if you have any further questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them, considering how long this hearing has gone on. It's not like there's time pressure. If you have any questions of Brian Grogan, who is the PW of Bristol, he's available. If you have any specific questions of Michael Triano, he's available. And rather than on this very warm day, we'll keep you to be sitting here, unless you have any specific questions for me. Turn it over for adjourn for all purposes.
I have a question. Has the amount of wetlands on the property changed since the subdivision was made?
To our knowledge, it's not, because it's not like the property has been cleared at some point. While in certain cases you may see that wetlands have increased or decreased in size based on whether there was disturbance on the site, or whether sometimes you observe that if there was some change in the character of what the say that there was substantial flooding in an area for a long period of time, then maybe that would have changed. But from review of the New York State DEC kind of wetlands map, and which the DEC also confirmed that the wetlands that we show on this map are still part of the valid wetlands, that there has not, we do not have any information that would show that there has been any substantial change in the wetlands since the subdivision.
So the answer is you don't know whether there's been a change. That's all I'm asking.
There's been no evidence to show that there has been.
I think the answer that you're giving is you don't know whether there's been any substantial change.
No, the answer I'm giving is that there is no substantial evidence to show that there is. There is a very distinct difference between not knowing and whether there is evidence to show the fact that it has. Oh yes, Michael Shiano from the Science Research Associates on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, I think what we're going to do is,
Brent may have questions.
oh, does anybody have any questions?
Hold off.
Brent might.
There should not be any questions.
No, Brant?
NPV only got this information recently. There's a lot to go through. Mr. Shiano spent a lot of time in his response, and just like the opportunity to look at it and provide our feedback for the next meeting. Or is minimal to that. Otherwise, I'd be shooting off the hip, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this still open to the public?
Sure, yes, I believe so, it is.
Is there anybody in the public here or in East Irlandia that would like to speak?
No hands, is Zoom.
Okay, Michael, thank you. So I think we're going to table this until October.
And you're leaving the public hearing open?
Yes, October 5th. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to table this until October 5th.
I'll second.
Second. So no, all those in favor? So noted.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think, let's see, the process, I guess we can just bring this meeting to adjournment and then.
Well, no, you would make a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation.
I make a motion.
The words right out of my mouth. Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, nice stuff.
Now you stop recording.
Yeah. Peter.
Bye, Peter.
Good night. Take care.
Yeah.